Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the client that I had said in a couple of previous videos he was released, and I didn't believe the facility. So just to back up a little bit, in case you didn't see the earlier video, we had a client that hired us. He was in the hospital when he did so. So he basically called in, spoke to Brittany, who runs my intake department, and hired us. When my team called the hospital where he was at, they were told by a nurse, "Oh, he's been released." And my team were like, "Oh, he's been released." And I'm like, "Really? I've heard that story before and I don't believe it." Well, he's been released. No. Release doesn't necessarily mean he walked out the front door. If you can prove to me that he walked out the front door, then I'll agree he's released. Because released can mean that they may have shipped him off to another hospital or to a behavioral health unit. And what do you know? It turned out they had. Now, I'm not here to tell you, look how clever I am. I'm just telling you, after having handled 500 of these things and spoken to thousands of people and practiced law for coming into 31 years now, I've heard it all before, and I don't believe it until I see it. And if it looks like a duck and it quacks, it's a duck. And I knew darn well instinctively what had gone on here. So this is now 3 or 4 days later, and I happen to have arguably one of the best private investigators that I'm aware of, if not the best. And he tracked the client down. Turned out they hadn't released him. They had transferred him to another hospital and done it secretly so that none of us knew where he was. Well, I found him. And not only did I find him, it turns out the state of Florida, the hospital he's now at, they filed to keep him. Yeah, they want to keep him. You know why? Well, they have a half-decent case, and guess what? Surprise, surprise, he's got health insurance. And now they know it's us. He's almost certainly going to be out within the next 24 hours. And so this sort of, harpens back to what I've been saying in the past, which is if you hire a cheap lawyer, you're going to get a cheap result. And just so we're clear here, this is not about me, saying, "Oh, clever boy." I had my own family member Baker acted. Just a couple of days after I lost my father, I was there with the police, their paramedics, and the whole shebang. I watched a family member get strapped to a gurney and detained. So when I tell you I know the Baker Act, and I'm passionate about the Baker Act, and I care about the Baker Act, and I care about helping clients, it's because I've been there. And I know what this feels like. I've also been there with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other families, and I know what they experience too. And so, these facilities, the unscrupulous ones, because there are some good ones out there, these unscrupulous facilities are on notice. I'm coming, and I'm going to keep coming, and I'm going to keep fighting to get people out. And when you tell my staff, that this person's been released, I am not going to believe you until I get the client on the phone and he or she tells me he's out. And as it happened, just as a precaution, I sent my investigator over to this guy's house a couple of days ago, and guess what? He wasn't there. So, I guess the emphasis here, the underlying theme here is don't believe what the facilities tell you. I don't care if they tell you that they've been released or re-Baker acted or all this nonsense they tell people. I'm here to fight for anybody that's been Baker acted, and I'll get you out. I can't tell you I can wave a magic wand to make it happen instantaneously, but I'm here to fight. So I want to share that with you. That's just a follow-up to a video a couple of days ago, and it's good to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.